So the wood boiler has been started. We are burning wood. We are using inventory from the wood yard. So today I just want to walk around, give you guys a look at my inventory, what I have on hand ready to burn this year, and what I have seasoning for next year. And also just kind of explain, I get a lot of questions about the wood that's always up there in the woodshed that you see, and kind of how I have it on a rotation basis, where one year it's full and the next year I burn it. So just wanted to talk about that for a second. And also, for those of you that are maybe starting to burn firewood for the first time this year, just give you a sense of, maybe how much wood you have on hand, if it's enough. And there's that old saying, there's a difference between getting ahead and staying ahead. And actually, if you're starting to burn wood for the first time this year and you don't have any on hand, you're behind the game already, because it's not going to be ready. You should be this year getting your wood ready for next year. Also, just before we get going, the previous video about stack it or sell it, I actually ended up with 2 totes that I'm going to let sit there, and I'm not going to sell it, and I'm also not going to stack it. It's going to sit there for a couple months till the season's out. And I had mentioned that I don't have a couple IBC totes. I like to keep those IBC totes free, but I have a plan to free up a few other ones to get those into the rotation. And I know somebody had mentioned that I should just get more, and they are hard to come by. I can't actually find any for sale right now. And the few that I saw for sale like a month ago, they wanted like 50 bucks a piece for them, so not worth it. All right, so up here in the woodshed, a few of you have always asked me why I have all this wood in here, why I don't burn it. And this wood was actually put in here 2 years ago. And so my plan, or my idea, is that every other year I would use this wood. So like this year my plan is to use this wood up. And then when I take all those trees down in the wood yard, bring that wood up here and split it and stack it right into the shed, and then let that sit in season for 2 years in here, and then use it when it's fully seasoned. So that's the plan. So in the fall, now I'm kind of using up this stuff here to make a little room to bring in a couple IBC totes. And then slowly through the winter, I want to burn through all that. And then during the winter, keep burning through all of that in there. And then if I get that emptied out, what I will do is I'll start bringing in more from what I have in the wood yard. And what I have in the wood yard in totes, these are the totes that are filled with wood for my personal use. And this tote right here is the most seasoned. So this is going to be the first one I take in. I might actually take that in here this week and kind of start pulling off of it, just because it has some pine, it's got some maple, and everything in the woodshed right now is oak. So if I can kind of mix some pine and maple in with some oak as I burn here in the early part of the season, that would work out pretty good. But that's what I'm talking about. If I can take a tote or two in there and empty it out, then that would free up a couple totes to use in the rotation of moving wood around. So there's the one tote over there, and then back here I have another 2 totes of pine that I might save until spring for spring burning. But back here I have a tote of oak, another tote of just mixed maple, hackberry, some other oak. So there's 4 more totes. And then I also have these 3 totes, which are, that one's got pine in it as well. That's a mix. That's some locust and a little oak and maybe some pine. Once the woodshed is empty, let's say I get through all that in the woodshed, come end of February, maybe into March, then what I will do is I'll start taking these totes, taking them in and emptying these out and burning that stuff up. Now, if we have an extremely cold winter and I'm just burning through all kinds of wood, I also have this pile on the hillside here. This would be ready to go by the beginning of 2023. And there's actually quite a bit of wood up there. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, I don't know how many rows that go all the way up this hill. So there's a good little pile of wood here. But if I do not tap into any of this next spring, this will then be for the fall of 2023. So once all that wood from the hill over there has been taken in and burned, then I will be tapping into this big pile. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 rows of just big chunks of oak, maple, pine, everything over here. 9 rows, and it's 1, 2, 3 pallets deep. Just a great big pile of boiler wood. And again, this is all just wood for my own personal use, for burning in the boiler to heat my house. So none of the stuff, none of those piles they're all split big. They're none split for like selling. They're not split for recreational burning, roadside stand, or bundles. They're all just for me. So this pile then, this pile is the 2-year from now supply. So I have this pile right here. I'm not sure how much is on it. It's a good amount of wood though. And that is this half of it's all oak. The other side's a little mix. And also in the 2-year supply, I have this pile over here. This is 3 rows, and I'm not even sure how much is there. 3 rows deep, maybe a little over 4 feet high. Oh yeah, and there's that tote as well. And just goes on up the hill. So there is just a little walk around of the inventory that I have on hand for my this year's supply, next year's supply, and then 2-year supply. I think that's what it would be. Even though some might consider this year 1 year, next year 2-year supply. So maybe I'm 3 years ahead. I guess you could maybe technically say that. But that's a good place to be in, because like I said, it's tough to get ahead, but sometimes it's tougher to stay ahead. So again, I don't know what's going to happen this winter. I could end up burning more wood than I thought, or I could end up burning less. Oh, and hang on, you know what? I just thought of something. I've got one more little stash down here I forgot about. I got wood all over the place. Sometimes I just forget. So I also have, and this is actually some of the stuff I should also take in first. I also have 2 pallets of some bigger slab split maple, and then I got 2 rows of oak underneath that. So there you go. I got a little more wood I need to take in and burn up. So yeah, so I don't know how many years, how you want to technically consider if this year is 1 year, next year is 2 years ahead, but I have the wood for this year in the shed. I want to get the woodshed cleaned out, get that burned up. Then next year, use that wood that's on the hill in this big pile back here. And then the following year, I have that loose pile right now that's down there in the ditch on the pallets, and the other rows up there on the hill. So however you want to look at it, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling confident. I've got plenty of wood to keep that wood boiler burning this year, next year, the year after. And then you probably noticed there's quite a bit of wood on the ground as well. So we're going to be making wood this fall and winter now for whenever we get to it. And again, that's the challenge, is getting ahead, staying ahead. All right, so hopefully we'll see you Woodhounds tomorrow night on the Back 40 live stream. It's 1 week to go until the Paul Bunyan show. On October 7th, I will be down in Cambridge, Ohio for Friday Night Live. And then on Saturday, October 8th, I'll be at the Paul Bunyan show all day. So if you're going to the Paul Bunyan show, I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, like I said, we'll see you tomorrow night on Friday Night Live. And if not, in 2 weeks on Friday Night Live from Cambridge, Ohio, because I think that's going to be a pretty big Friday Night Live. It's going to be one of the, it's going to be one to see, one to tune into if you can't be there live. Yes, there will be a live audience. Woohoo! And hopefully things don't get out of line. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.